Donald Trump, the felon, has no plans to lower costs for families. He doesn't know how, and basically, he doesn't really care. When did he ever fill up a gas tank or worry about a grocery bill? The only bills he worries about are from his criminal defense lawyers.
Donald Trump thought he could out-talk a Harvard professor, until Elizabeth Warren showed up with facts sharper than his spray tan line. What started as a routine ego trip turned into a full-on public roast session. And let's just say someone left with more than a bruised ego. Want to know what Warren dropped that left Trump blinking like a malfunctioning Roomba? Buckle up, because this political showdown makes WrestleMania look like a tea party.
You might have heard that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are taking a chainsaw to your Social Security. So let's talk about it.
So what have Donald Trump and Elon Musk done to Social Security so far?
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are saying 78% of the people they want to fire are the folks working in those field offices to help people across this country when they have a problem. This is Donald Trump and Elon Musk working together as co-presidents to keep people from getting the Social Security benefits that they earned and they were promised.
Donald Trump, the man who thinks running a country is like running a casino, just louder and with more golden furniture, finally met his intellectual kryptonite, Elizabeth Warren. Yes, the same Elizabeth Warren who can crunch a Wall Street loophole before breakfast and still have time to wreck a billionaire's afternoon on live television. The moment wasn't just a confrontation, it was a highly educated speed bump Trump didn't see coming.
Republicans to do their job. We have that power. But Donald Trump is hoping that enough people will be afraid, enough people will just hold it down.
So what caused the latest implosion of Trump Tower logic? It all started the usual way. Trump opened his mouth, flapped his gums, and threw around nicknames like a playground bully who just discovered Twitter. But this time, instead of ignoring the toddler tantrum in a red tie, Warren responded, not with insults, but with, brace yourself, actual facts. That's right. She brought research, policy knowledge, and a verbal flamethrower to a tweet fight.
What I'm hearing you say is that no one can hear a rhyme or reason to why the tariffs are off again, on again, off again, on again. But what you're telling us is the fact that hundreds of thousands, even millions of people could lose their jobs and that prices could go up will not be a factor for you or for Donald Trump for rolling those tariffs back. Look,
imagine Trump walking into a debate armed with a magic Sharpie and a 2013 map of his inauguration crowd, only to realize Warren came with a full dossier, a PowerPoint presentation, and 3 government reports color-coded by stupidity level. It was like watching someone show up to a boxing match wearing floaties, while their opponent calmly dissected them with a legal scalpel. Beautiful. Terrifying. Delicious.
as you've been reporting all day long, every light is flashing red in terms of the economy, and that we really are on the precipice of sliding into a recession and maybe taking it worldwide. Meanwhile, the Secretary of the Treasury is going on Tucker Carlson to talk about all of the workers that Trump and Doge.
If you're enjoying this, please subscribe. But before we get to the main roast, let's rewind. Trump had been lobbing personal digs at Warren again, because nothing says presidential behavior like rehashing 5-year-old playground slurs. As usual, he thought it would go unanswered. After all, in Trump world, facts are just what you shout over, and apologies are what other people owe you. Except this time, Warren didn't just answer, she set the entire Trump mythology on fire. Her response wasn't loud, bombastic, or littered with random capital letters and 17 exclamation points. It was calm, deliberate, the equivalent of handing Trump a mirror and saying, "Here, look at the mess you've made." She started with the economy, which Trump treats like a monopoly board he forgot the rules to halfway through the game. Warren peeled apart his so-called accomplishments one by one, exposing how the only thing Trump ever stimulated was the stock price of gold-plated toilet manufacturers. She brought receipts, literal data on job losses, wage stagnation, and the fact that the richest 1% got more hugs from his tax plan than the rest of America combined. It wasn't a clapback. It was a spreadsheet-backed execution.
Authority that Donald Trump is using is a declaration of emergency, but the specific law for that says that Congress can pass a resolution and say, no emergency here. And let's face it, realistically, emergency? Really? It was designed for things like we go.
And then came the business record. Oh yes, the I'm a billionaire, so trust me routine. Warren calmly pointed out that Trump's business empire is basically a haunted house of bankruptcies, lawsuits, and unpaid contractors. You could practically hear the ghost of Trump's stakes weeping in the background. She highlighted how the only consistent thing in his business record is how consistently people regret doing business with him. By this point, Trump's face probably looked like someone who just realized he brought a juice box to a wine tasting. But Warren wasn't done. She dove into ethics, or in Trump's case, the lack thereof. She laid out the revolving door of shady associates, legal investigations, and conflicts of interest so numerous they need their own zip code. It wasn't just a confrontation, it was a comprehensive moral audit broadcast in HD. And Trump? He responded the only way he knows how: vague statements, deflections, and a social media meltdown that read like a 12-year-old's diary entry. He called her names, questioned her intelligence, and said things so incoherent even his spell check gave up and filed for resignation. But none of it landed, because when you're facing someone who actually does their homework, yelling louder just makes you look like you're losing the argument in surround sound.
Toes right on the edge of a constitutional crisis here. But here's the thing. It may be the case that Donald Trump is so full of confidence that he thinks he can wave his wand and whatever he wants to happen will happen. And in many cases, he will be right. For example, the Republicans in the Senate just go ahead and confirm people for jobs that they know they are not qualified for. So they will kowtow.
The best part? Warren never once stooped to his level. She didn't throw insults. She didn't rage tweet. She calmly walked through his greatest hits like a museum curator giving a tour of the world's most embarrassing ego collection. She pointed out how Trump brags about building things, but left behind a trail of unfinished walls, half-empty buildings, and financial carnage that would make Enron blush. But perhaps the most brutal blow came when she laid out how Trump's policies weren't just dumb, they were dangerous. Stripping healthcare like it's a game show prize. Gutting environmental protections so fast even the EPA started blinking in Morse code. Cozying up to dictators like he's auditioning for a Bond villain reboot. Warren didn't just confront Trump. She exposed the blueprint of chaos masquerading as governance. And the reaction? Oh, it was priceless. Fox News tried their best to spin it as Elizabeth Warren gets unhinged, which in reality was code for she used words we didn't understand. Trump's surrogates tried to change the subject faster than a toddler caught with chocolate on their face. J.D. Vance popped up like a malfunctioning AI, mumbling about the deep state while slowly backing away into irrelevance.
But the real point is, and the United States Supreme Court has said this, if Donald Trump and his henchmen can do this to one citizen from Maryland, they can do it to any.
Meanwhile, social media exploded. Memes poured in like confetti at a humiliation parade. One showed Warren holding Trump's policies like expired milk, with the caption, "Smells like failure." Another depicted Trump in a debate with a goldfish. Spoiler alert, the goldfish won. And of course the trending hashtag #WarrenRexTrump, a digital monument to intellectual curb stomping. But let's pause and reflect for a moment. This wasn't just a political spat. This was a collision of two ideologies, one based on evidence, education, and empathy, the other on ego, fantasy, and branding. Warren didn't just challenge Trump. She dismantled the whole Trump persona like an IKEA cabinet missing half the screws. The confrontation proved something vital. Trump may have mastered the art of distraction, but he's completely defenseless when someone refuses to play the clown game. Warren didn't dance around the nonsense. She walked through it, like a math teacher grading a kindergartner's essay on international trade. Even when Trump tried to pivot, talking about jobs he supposedly created, trade deals he allegedly dominated, or global respect he thinks he commands, Warren met each lie with facts so cold they required gloves. She broke down how manufacturing didn't boom, how the tariffs backfired harder than a clown cannon, and how America's global reputation now ranks somewhere between lukewarm soda and Internet Explorer.